authorities. Yeah. So makakausap natin mula sa Department of Justice para malaman natin ano ba talaga ang tunay na status ni Zaldico. Si Yusek Raul Vasquez po. Yusek, good morning po and thank you for joining us. Si Peter Atrica dito sa DZMM po.
Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Rica. At good morning sa inyong mga nanonood at tagapakinig.
Good morning, Yusek. Thank you for joining us.
So, Yusek, maraming mga questions dito sa pagkakaaresto, no? Sabi ng iba, di naman inaresto eh, hinanapan lang eh. And the worst that can happen is pababalikin siya kung saan siya nagmula. Can you tell us what is the lowdown on this arrest ni Zaldico, Yusek, please?
Well, he was apparently arrested and detained because of lacking documents, no? Kasi canceled na yung Philippine passport niya. Kinancel ng DFA yan pursuant to the new Passport Act because he is already a fugitive from justice. We have to remember na merong 3 warrants of arrest issued against ex-Congressman Zaldico. And those were issued by the Sandigan Bayan in relation to the malversation and graft cases pending before that court.
Opo. But if he doesn't have the Philippine passport, no? At ang sabi din po ng iba, Yusek Raul, is kapag hindi ibig sabihin na pag kinancel ang passport, hindi na valid yung passport niya daw. Hindi na siya makakapag-renew ng passport kapag kinancel. Pero as it is, kung hawak niya yung Philippine passport niya, it's still valid. Is that correct, sir?
Cancelled na eh. Since it is cancelled, he has no documents. Therefore, he is an undocumented alien. And on that basis, ganun ang mangyayari based on the immigration laws of the domestic country where he is. He will be arrested for being a undocumented alien. Immigration issue lang yan. So papasok yun yung automatic deportation nga kung tutusin mo eh. Kung simpleng bagay lang ang pinag-usapan, you don't have documents, you get arrested, you would be deported.
Wala po tayong extradition treaty with the Czech Republic, di po ba? Pero pwede po siyang mag-seek ng asylum. That's one thing that he can consider. Nakikita po ba natin itong maaring gawin ni former Congressman Zaldico? And if he does seek asylum, ano po ang mangyayari doon sa mga pending cases niya?
Actually, Rica, medyo layered yung tanong mo, no? Ang first aspect of your question is wala tayong extradition treaty with the Czech Republic. Actually, wala tayong bilateral extradition treaty. Pero merong extradition na nakapaloob sa tinatawag nating United Nations Convention Against Corruption. Na parehas ang Czech Republic at saka Pilipinas na signatories. Yung UN Convention Against Corruption na to, it is a multi-level, multi-party convention signed by 140 plus countries. Halos lahat ng mga bansa sa buong mundo, yaan ay pumirma sila. At ang ideya nito ay magkaroon ng kooperasyon, pagtutulungan laban sa corruption. Ang coverage nito ay investigation, prosecution, arrest, transfer of properties, information sharing, and transfer of custody of the persons involved sa mga graft cases and corruption cases. Meron pa ngayong tinatawag na mutual legal assistance which is a broad concept that covers virtually any legal measure that would impact the fight against corruption. Kaya yung sinasabi nating walang extradition treaty, that is not completely true. Meron, pero nakapaloob sa isang UN convention.
So can we call on that treaty, Yusek, para maipabalik si Congressman Zaldico dito sa Pilipinas?
Of course, kasi yun kaya nga ang lead agency dito, Rica and Peter, ay ang DFA. Ini-insist natin na sila ay tumupad sa obligasyon nila under that UN convention. Pero maliban doon, meron pang mga ibang proseso na pwede naman magamit para mapabalik si ex-congressman Zaldico. Ito yung deportation. Deportation dahil undocumented alien na siya. Pero ang importante lang kasi dyan ay kailangan sundan natin yung proseso, yung the internal processes, procedures, and priorities, rules and regulations of the Czech Republic with respect to these cases.
Okay. Yusek Raul, sabi po ng Pangulo, there will be a high-level coordination team that will be sent, no, to oversee this issue with regarding si Zaldico. Can we ask, kung hindi po ito medyo sikreto pa, has the coordination team been formed at ano po ang timetable nito?
Well, it is urgent yung bagay na yan para ma-facilitate nga yung pagkabalik ni ex-congressman Zaldico sa atin. I heard na talagang ongoing na yung proseso at pinapacilitate na talaga yung bagay na yan, Peter.
How possible po kaya, Yusek, na mangyari o maulit yung naging experience natin sa pagpapabalik kay Congressman Arnie Teves? Pwede kayang maulit na naman ito dito sa kaso ni Zaldico?
Good point. Remember na yung case ni ex-congressman Arnie Teves. Originally, ang request natin was deportation.
Yes.
Kaagad, dahil undocumented alien din siya. May warrant pa. Pero ang ginawa ng Timor-Leste initially, hinandle nila yan as an extradition case, natagalan. But eventually, because of the constant pressure that were extended on them, yung constant request, follow up dito, talaga, todo-todo, na-realize siguro ng Timor-Leste government that it would not be to their advantage and to their benefit na i-prolong pa yung issue. Kaya naging deportation yan, kaya napabilis lalo. Perhaps they may have considered yung fact na at that time, they were applying for the ASEAN membership. So, naisip nila na kung hindi sila mag-cooperate, it would not be helpful to their effort to be admitted to the ASEAN. Plus the fact na membro na rin sila ng UN. And being a UN member state, you have to follow international law and regulations.
Opo. Totoo po ba? Kasi nga wala namang red notice para kay Zaldico, no, na galing sa Interpol. And sabi nila, all the more it will be quite difficult for an early resolution of repatriating him back to the Philippines po. Would that be a fair statement?
Not necessarily, Peter, dahil magkaiba yan. Yung deportation is principally an internal issue of that country, yung domestic laws nila. And it is an immigration issue. Kung ikaw ay nandoon bilang alien or foreigner na walang documents, you would be subjected to administrative deportation. Administrative procedure lang yan. But on the other hand, yung aspeto naman ng tatagal ay walang kinalaman yun doon sa Interpol Red Notice. Yung purpose kasi ng Interpol, this is actually a cooperative, it is a convention that requires cooperation and assistance between and amongst law enforcement agencies of member states for the purpose of implementation of the legal processes ng mga bansa. Ibig sabihin, ang purpose nito, depending kung anong notice ang i-request at i-grant ng Interpol, kung blue notice yan, ang purpose niyan is to locate the person
Yeah.
and inform the requesting party, requesting state, kung yung taong subject of the blue notice ay nandyan sa lugar na yan. Pag red notice naman, it is actually ascertaining the location and whereabouts of the person, arresting the person,
Yun.
and effecting later on the surrender. Wala hong kinalaman yan sa whether or not mapabilis o hindi. Ang importante kasi, nahuli na siya eh. So wala nang purpose yung red notice or blue notice or whatever notices there may be from Interpol. Although, merong pending application tayo, pinoproseso ngayon, yung pag-issue ng Interpol notice kasi hindi naman natin malaman kung nasaan siya at that point. At ito ay isang paraan para malaman kung nasaan siya para maaresto siya at may balik sa Pilipinas.
Yusek, last na lang siguro sa akin before we let you go po. Nasaan na po tayo sa pakikipag-usap natin with the Czech government? At anong avenue po yung tinatahak natin?
Alam mo, we have to respect the internal processes ng Czech Republic, Rika. Gaya din natin, may mga confidential proceedings tayo. Hindi dapat malaman, ayaw nilang may unnecessarily ma-expose, etc. Kasi yung confidentiality requirements at saka privacy issues nila. So we have to respect that. But what we can confirm is the fact that the DFA is closely coordinating with the Czech Republic to facilitate the early transfer of ex-Congressman Saldico pursuant to the international law requirements and in accordance with the internal rules and regulations of the Czech Republic, being a co-equal, independent, and sovereign state.
So wala pa po tayong timetable, no, Yusek?
Alam mo, kung tutusin timetable ang pinag-uusapan, if by some stroke of luck, ma-realize ni ex-Congressman Teves that it is to his advantage to just let go of the tedious and long processes, he could go on a self-deportation. He could have himself repatriated voluntarily and intelligently. He can come back tomorrow. He could be brought back tomorrow. Kung
Opo.
pinag-uusapan ay immediacy eh.
Yeah.
But it all depends on certain circumstances, so Peter and Rika.
Opo.
It all depends on the person. Kasi parang ito yung door-to-door. Alam mo, yung, di ba may mga, I'm sure that you've heard of situations before na pati kababayan natin na pag dating sa airport, for example, nakita na peke yung visa niya, peke yung documents niya, he would be subjected to yung tinatawag na second processing. And then, ang purpose nun is to bring him back to where he came from or to he would be deported back to his country based on the earliest available flight. That's
Yeah.
door-to-door. That's
baka-
self-registration.
Opo.
Pero it's remote. It's remote, of course, at this point kasi pagtatago nga eh.
Oh,
But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
who knows? We don't know.
Yeah.
First time ko makikiisa sa call na bring him home. Sa parang yan. Yusek, maraming salamat po
baka
sa inyong
sabihin
panahon na.
Hello, meron akong Portuguese passport, no?
Ay, wala ka nga napakita eh. Kaya kakulang dokumento mo eh. Yusek, maraming salamat sa
Thank
panahon
you,
po. Good
Yusek.
morning.
Thank you very much, Rika and Peter, and good morning to all.
Mabuhay po kayo si Yusek Raul Vasquez ng DOJ, Department of Justice.